Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something that you might not realize is super important for learning English.
Hmm.
And that is confidence.
Yeah.
It's something we all grapple with in different areas of our lives. But,
Absolutely.
I remember when I was trying to learn Italian before a trip to Rome, and I had all these apps and phrase books.
Right.
But I was so scared to actually speak.
Hmm.
I thought I would just sound silly.
Yeah.
So I mostly just stayed quiet.
Wow.
And looking back, I wish I had just gone for it.
Yeah.
There's all those delicious pasta orders that I missed out on just because I lacked the confidence to stumble through a few sentences.
It's fascinating because you're highlighting how confidence or a lack of confidence can really shape our actions and even our experiences, right? It's
Right.
when you don't have that confidence to communicate, you might miss out on opportunities to connect or to learn or to even fully immerse yourself in the language.
So how do we get this confidence thing? Is it like a magic spell or something?
Not quite a magic spell, but it's a bit like building a house.
Okay.
You need a strong foundation. And in this case, that foundation is self-confidence.
I like that.
And our source material, How to Build Self-Confidence, defines it as believing in your own abilities and judgment.
So it's about trusting yourself even when you make mistakes.
Yeah,
And let's be real, mistakes are inevitable when you're learning English.
absolutely. And that's where these signs of healthy self-confidence from the source material come in.
Okay.
Thinking about the willingness to take on challenges, which in this case could mean signing up for a language exchange.
Right.
Or even just asking for directions in English.
Yeah, just pushing past those comfort zones, even if it feels a little scary at first.
Exactly.
And this ties into another sign of confidence.
Yeah.
Accepting constructive criticism.
Yes.
Feedback is like gold dust when learning a new language.
It is. Instead of viewing that feedback as a personal attack,
Right.
think of it as a guide helping you refine your skills and get closer to fluency. Yeah.
And you know what else the source material talks about? Expressing your opinions even if your grammar isn't perfect yet.
That's so true. It's about having the confidence to speak up and participate, even if you're not 100% sure of yourself. That's where the real learning happens.
Exactly. When you're confident enough to put yourself out there, you open yourself up to those new learning opportunities,
Yeah.
and you can connect with others in a more meaningful way.
Okay, so we've talked about what confidence is and why it's important, but how do we actually build it?
Yeah.
This source gives us some practical steps.
Right.
One that really stands out to me is setting realistic goals.
Yes. It's so important to break down that big, daunting goal of becoming fluent into smaller, achievable steps.
Right.
Instead of aiming for perfection right away,
Yeah.
focus on having a 5-minute conversation this week
Okay.
or mastering a particular grammar point.
I love that because each small win is a confidence boost, showing you that you are capable of making progress.
Yeah. And speaking of boosting confidence, the source also emphasizes the power of positive self-talk.
Right. Instead of beating yourself up with thoughts like, I'm terrible at this,
Yeah.
try replacing them with more encouraging phrases like, I am learning and making progress, or I'm proud of myself for trying.
It's about being your own cheerleader.
Oh, right. Exactly.
And that leads us to another key step, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yes, this could be watching a movie without subtitles, or attending a language meetup,
Right.
or even just practicing your English with a friend.
It's about pushing past that fear and proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you think.
Absolutely. And as you do that, remember to focus on developing competence. That means actively working on your language skills.
Yeah.
Whether it's through apps, online courses, or good old-fashioned textbooks.
Right, because as you become more competent, your confidence naturally grows alongside your skills.
Yes.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate those wins, big or small. Acknowledging your progress is a powerful way to reinforce that confidence and keep yourself motivated.
Okay, so we've covered setting realistic goals, practicing positive self-talk, stepping out of our comfort zones and developing competence.
Yeah.
But let's be real, there are going to be challenges along the way.
Of course.
The source talks about some common obstacles.
Yeah.
And I think fear of failure is a big one for many English learners.
Absolutely. The fear of making mistakes can be paralyzing.
Right.
But here's the thing, mistakes are inevitable. And they're actually valuable learning opportunities.
Okay.
Instead of seeing them as setbacks, try to reframe them as feedback.
I like that.
Analyze why you made the mistake and use that knowledge to improve.
That's such a helpful way to look at it. Instead of beating ourselves up for making mistakes, we can actually learn from them and become better speakers because of them.
Exactly. And another obstacle the source mentions is comparing ourselves to others.
Ooh, yeah.
This can be a real confidence killer, especially in the age of social media.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Right.
It's so easy to scroll through Instagram and see people who seem effortlessly fluent and make you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah, but remember, everyone learns at their own pace.
Right.
It's not a competition.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on your own progress. Celebrate your own achievements. And don't let the success of others diminish your own.
So instead of comparing ourselves to others, we should focus on running our own race.
Exactly.
Celebrating our own milestones.
Yes.
It's about recognizing how far we've come since we started.
Exactly. And finally, let's talk about self-doubt.
Okay.
Now, self-doubt is natural.
Mm.
We all experience it from time to time.
Yeah.
It's that little voice in our heads that whispers, what if I'm not good enough?
Oh, that voice can be so loud sometimes.
It can.
But the key is to not let it control us.
Right. Instead of letting that self-doubt paralyze you, you try challenging those negative thoughts.
Okay.
Remind yourself of your past achievements, no matter how small they may seem, and seek feedback from trusted sources like language partners or teachers.
Wow.
Their perspective can help you see your progress more objectively.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that external validation to help us see ourselves more clearly and boost our confidence.
Absolutely. And sometimes, like, having someone else confirm that for us can be that little extra push that we need to keep going.
Right.
But beyond just seeking feedback from others, there are also some really interesting practical exercises that the source material suggests for boosting confidence.
Oh, like I'm always up for trying new things.
Right.
Especially if it means like finally conquering my fear of ordering food in another language.
Well, how about daily affirmations?
Oh, okay.
It might sound a bit cheesy, I know, but there's actually a lot of power in positive self-talk.
Wait, so like looking in the mirror and saying, I am a confident English speaker.
That's the idea. The source suggests writing down 3 positive affirmations every morning.
Okay.
Things like, I am capable of learning English, or I am making progress every day. And even if you don't fully believe it at first, repeating these phrases can gradually shift your mindset.
It's like planting those seeds of confidence.
Yes.
And then as we water them with like practice and effort, they start to grow.
Exactly. And speaking of visualization, have you ever tried that? Imagine yourself having a conversation in English, ordering that pasta dish you mentioned earlier,
Right.
or even giving a presentation.
You know, I haven't tried visualization specifically for language learning, but I've heard about athletes using it to like improve their performance.
Right.
Does it really work?
It can.
Okay.
By vividly picturing yourself succeeding, you're essentially creating a mental blueprint for success.
Wow.
It's like a mental rehearsal that helps reduce anxiety and build your belief in your own abilities.
So it's like tricking your brain into thinking you've already done it. Like that.
Exactly.
And for those of us who prefer a more like hands-on approach, the source suggests journaling.
Yes, journaling can be a fantastic tool.
Oh.
Imagine writing down your achievements,
Yeah.
even the seemingly small ones. Did you have a conversation without freezing up? Did you learn a new grammar rule?
Yeah.
Capture those moments?
I can see how that would help.
Yeah.
It's easy to focus on the things we're still struggling with and forget how far we've come.
Yeah.
Journaling could be a good way to remind ourselves of our progress and celebrate those wins.
Absolutely. And if you really want to push yourself,
Okay.
the source even suggests practicing public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds terrifying,
Yeah.
but hear me out.
Public speaking in English, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
I understand it can be daunting,
Yeah.
but remember, the goal here is to build confidence in English.
Right.
And what better way to do that than by actually speaking in front of others?
Okay.
You don't have to start big. Maybe it's just a short presentation to a small group of friends or classmates.
Okay. I see your point. It's like ripping off the bandage.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the less scary it becomes.
Yeah.
But is there anything a bit less, well, terrifying
Yeah.
that I could try?
Of course, the source also highlights the benefits of volunteering.
Volunteering. How does that help with my English?
Think about it when you volunteer.
Okay.
You often have to interact with people,
Mm-hmm.
explain things,
Right.
share stories, connect with others.
Okay.
It's a great way to put your English skills to use in a meaningful way.
I hadn't thought about it like that. And it's a chance to meet new people and make a difference in my community.
Exactly.
Plus, it takes the pressure off
Yeah.
because it's not just about my English skills.
Exactly. It's about connecting with others and contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Right.
And in the process, you're also building your confidence and fluency in English It's a win-win.
Okay, I'm convinced I'm adding volunteering to my list of confidence-boosting activities.
Sure.
But what about long-term strategies? The source talks about continuous learning.
That's so important. Learning shouldn't stop once you reach a certain level. Staying curious, exploring new topics, challenging yourself intellectually, all of these things contribute to a growth mindset, which is essential for maintaining confidence.
So it's not just about learning English, it's about learning in general.
Exactly. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Right.
But instead of that being discouraging, that realization can be incredibly exciting. It fuels your desire to keep learning, growing, and expanding your horizons.
I like that.
And as you learn new things, you're constantly adding to your toolbox of skills and knowledge,
Right.
which in turn boosts your confidence.
It's like a never-ending cycle of learning and confidence building.
Yes.
Is there anything else the source recommends for like the long haul?
You know, this might surprise you,
Okay.
but the source mentions mindfulness and meditation.
Wait, really mindfulness? I thought that was just for like yoga studios and meditation apps. How does that help with learning English?
It's all about being present in the moment, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. And meditation in its various forms can help you cultivate that sense of awareness.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
When you're more aware of your thoughts and feelings,
Right.
you're better equipped to manage those negative self-talk patterns that can erode your confidence.
Oh, I see. So it's not about eliminating those negative thoughts altogether. It's about recognizing them and choosing not to let them control us.
Exactly. It's about developing a more compassionate and supportive inner voice, one that encourages and motivates you instead of putting you down.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about being kind to ourselves even when we make mistakes.
Yes.
And speaking of mistakes, the source also emphasizes the importance of tracking our progress. I imagine that could help us stay motivated and focused on our goals.
Absolutely. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day grind and lose sight of the bigger picture.
Right.
But taking the time to reflect on your journey to see how much you've grown and learned can be incredibly motivating.
So it's like looking back at your travel photos after a trip.
Yeah.
You might not remember every single detail,
Right.
but you can see how far you've come and appreciate all the amazing experiences you had along the way.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
And don't forget to celebrate those achievements, no matter how small they may seem.
Right.
Did you finally nail that tricky grammar rule?
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation without freezing up? Those are all victories worth celebrating.
They're proof that we're moving in the right direction,
Yeah.
that we're capable of achieving our goals.
Exactly.
And finally, the source acknowledges that sometimes low self-confidence can be a more serious issue,
Right.
and it might be a good idea to seek professional help.
That's right. If you're struggling with low self-confidence and it's impacting your daily life, don't hesitate to reach out for support.
Okay.
A therapist or counselor can provide you with tools and strategies to address the underlying issues and help you build a stronger sense of self-worth.
That's so important. There's no shame asking for help. And it could make a world of difference in your journey to confidence, both in English and in life.
Absolutely.
Wow, we've really covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
It's amazing how confidence, something we often take for granted, plays such a huge role in learning a new language.
It really is. It's like that invisible force that can either propel us forward or hold us back.
So true. And the best part is, confidence isn't some like magical quality that some people are born with.
Right.
It's a skill,
Yes.
just like learning grammar or vocabulary.
Exactly. It's something that we can cultivate and strengthen over time with effort and the right strategies.
And you know what? This source even includes some inspirational quotes
Oh, nice.
to kind of like keep us motivated.
I love that.
One that really resonated with me is from Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay.
Believe you can, and you're halfway there.
Ooh, set a classic for a reason. It highlights the power of belief. When you believe in yourself and your ability to learn and grow, you're setting yourself up for success.
It's like giving yourself permission to try,
Yeah.
to make mistakes, and to keep moving forward even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And speaking of mistakes,
Yeah.
here's another quote that caught my eye this time from Peter T. McIntyre.
Oh,
Confidence comes not from always being right, but from not fearing to be wrong.
ooh.
This is especially relevant for language learners.
Let's be honest, we're going to make mistakes.
Yes, we are.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process, but
Yeah.
instead of letting those mistakes define us,
Right.
we can choose to see them as opportunities for learning and growth.
It's about shifting our perspective, embracing those imperfections, and recognizing that they're actually stepping stones on our path to fluency.
I love that. And finally, this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt really struck a chord with me.
Okay.
You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder that true confidence comes from facing our fears, not avoiding them.
That's so true. It's about stepping outside of our comfort zones, pushing ourselves to try new things, and proving to ourselves that we're capable of more than we think.
And as you do that, as you challenge yourself to grow and learn, you'll find that your confidence grows right alongside your skills. It's an incredible journey.
So here's the bottom line.
Okay.
Confidence isn't about being perfect.
Right.
It's about being willing to try to learn and to embrace the journey.
It's about recognizing that we all have the power to build our confidence one step at a time.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
It means we're not stuck where we are.
Yeah.
We have the power to change, to grow, and to achieve our language goals.
Now, here's a question for you to consider.
Okay.
What is one small step you can take today to build your confidence in learning English? Maybe it's finally signing up for that online course, or scheduling a language exchange, or simply practicing your speaking skills for 5 minutes.
Whatever it is, remember that every step, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. And the more steps you take, the more confident you'll become.
You've got this. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Until next time, happy learning.